There we are. Okay. Hi, we're live. Hi, Christy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Linda?
I'm really good. I'm really good. We'll say hello in a second and then we'll just kind of dive in. But I'm Linda Downey. I am a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, transformational health, and spiritual coach. And this is my friend Christy. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Christy Siriano. I am a functional wellness coach, and I work primarily with women who want to reverse autoimmune disease, hormone imbalances, and thyroid dysfunction in a holistic way, and not just be on medication for the rest of their lives, not just be covering up the symptoms with a pill. They want to understand why this happened and reverse it so that they can feel amazing, so they don't have to worry about this continuing to happen over and over, and can get their health and their life back.
Yeah, awesome. I should have said what I do, not just my credentials. So I also work with women in the health and wellness space, and I focus primarily on stress, the impact of chronic stress, past experiences that have kept stress in our body, and overcoming that, whether it means health or in their relationships, it shows up everywhere in life or in their connection to self. And this, if you're new to our world, we try to do this almost every Friday. And this is streaming in multiple places for both Christy and myself. So we would love for you to say hello, where you're watching from later if you watch the replay, and ask any questions. We can't see all the places that you might be watching from, but we will go back later and try to make sure we answer those questions as best as we can. And one thing we wanted to share with you is, before we dive in, this is our fourth year of running something called Be Your Own Best Valentine, which is all about creating a loving relationship with yourself at Valentine's Day, whether you have a Valentine in your life or whether you don't. Either way, that you being your best Valentine would be a great place to start. And this is our fourth year, as I said, and we're doing something a little bit different this year than we've done in the past, just to change it up. But we have a group on Facebook called Be Your Own Best Valentine. In fact, this is streaming in that group, right? Oh, I didn't put it in that group. We usually drop the link in that group as well. But we make that group be active right around this time of year. It's free. Our Be Your Own Best Valentine challenge is free. It's just a thing to focus on. So we'll be getting that started in the next week or so. So if you're interested in that, you can join that group on Facebook or drop us a comment like, where is that? And we'll send you the link and all of that. So yeah. So hi, Anna. Anna just said hi. So hi, thanks for saying hello. So our topic for today, and by the way, Christy is rocking that hat. Like, I want to go put a hat on because you look so cute, but I won't look like that because you got all those curls.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So what we wanted to talk about today, kind of like the segue from the Valentine conversation, is how does your relationship with yourself affect your physical health? So if you've ever had health issues that you can't seem to overcome, could be headaches all the time. It could be your belly has been a problem a lot of your life. Like you always feel bloated and you don't feel comfortable after you eat, or you've had real diagnoses of irritable bowel or colitis. Maybe you have chronic pain in your body. Maybe you don't lose weight in the way that you want to, like your metabolism and your weight won't shift. So we wanted to specifically focus on health and the relationship with your health to how you relate to yourself in your thoughts and emotions. Is that what you were thinking of, Christy?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that is talking about Be Your Own Best Valentine, and that program that we run is the perfect segue for leading into this topic, right? Because it is all about the relationship you have with yourself and making yourself your top priority, not in a narcissistic way, not in a way that you aren't caring for your children or your family or your home or the other people in your world, right? But in a way that you have to care for yourself first. It's like the old put your oxygen mask on yourself first, right? Before you try to take care of those around you. And when we talk about being your own best Valentine, it always reminds me of something that one of Linda and I's both dear friend and coach, Jody Rodenbaugh, always says, which is that you are the only partner that you are guaranteed to have for your entire time on this planet. And when I heard her say that the first time, something really shifted in me in how I think about this human body and the way that I care for her. Because if I'm caring for her, like she is my life partner, right? She is the only one that is guaranteed to be there for me for my entire life. And yet I'm putting everyone else ahead of her. I'm putting my kids, my husband, my work, my home, the laundry, right? Baking cookies for whatever school thing is needed, like whatever it is, most of us are putting all of those things first and we're ignoring the symptoms, which are really our body's cry for help, our body tapping us on the shoulder gently at first, saying, hey, I need you to pay attention to this. Something's off. Something's not quite right. Please pay attention. And then that tap on the shoulder gets louder and louder and louder until it is a scream that we cannot ignore anymore. And so the sooner you start to pay attention to those little whispers, those little taps on the shoulder, the better off that you are going to be, and the better you are at loving and caring for this human partner that you have been gifted for this one lifetime, so that you can have the health and vitality and life experience that you want to have.
Yeah. It makes me think of when you were rattling off like all the things that women in particular handle and manage and put in front of taking care of themselves. For those of you who are new to my world, I have a daughter who passed away in 2019, and she was born with immediate catastrophic medical issues. She had open heart surgery when she was 12 hours old. And it went on from there, multiple things throughout her 15 years of life. And when she was little, I was taking her for some myofascia work from the scarring from the open heart surgery, right? Because she was a baby, and to be able to get some strength and be able to use her upper body. And I remember that woman, her name was Sarah, that woman saying to me, "And Mom, what are you doing for yourself?" And I got really angry. In my head, I was like, shut up, F you, like all the things in my head. Cause I was so like, I'm here for my baby, take care of my baby. Like, don't tell me what I'm supposed to do to take care of myself. And I wish I would have listened. I wish I didn't have my guard up and my armor on, but I was in such fight or flight mode about what I needed to do for my children, and particularly my daughter. But I didn't listen. And anybody, if you know of myofascia, that's a connective tissue in our body, and the emotions that we haven't processed and dealt with, fear about my daughter, like, whatever it could be, can get stuck in the tissue, in the fascia. So that can lead to chronic pain, which I had at the time, and had for many years. And I just didn't pay attention. So my own experience of ignoring myself to the detriment of my health was a wake-up call. But it took quite a while for me to pay attention. I'm sure you can relate, right, Christy?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is such an important thing that you just noted there, in that we think that when we're having pain, when we're having digestive issues, when we have autoimmune disease, whatever it is, we think that that is strictly physical, right? We think that there's a physical cause. We have a nutrient deficiency, we have bad genes, we have this thing that went wrong, and this cascade of bad things happened in our body. And that there very often is a physical root cause, but very often, even beneath the physical root causes, there are emotional root causes. And our thoughts, our life experience, the hard things that we have been through, like your experience with your daughter, Linda, those things get stored in our body and create dis-ease. They create pain. They create problems in the gut that lead to colitis and Crohn's and other, irritable bowel related things, leads to autoimmune disease, leads to all of these different physical manifestations that we put a label on and call it a specific disease, right? But it all has its roots in things that we have experienced that we haven't been able to, for whatever reason, process and move through and out of the physical body.
Right, right. And what I was thinking when you were saying that is, the way that our Western culture has developed and the way that medicine has looked is like, here's the physical. If you have a spiritual issue, you talk to your priest. If you have a mental or emotional issue, you go to a psychologist, and it sort of really splits us up instead of recognizing that all of that, all the components of us make up the human being that we are. We are a human, meaning I have a physical body, being, meaning I have a spirit. My being is my spirit. And here, this may be new for some of you listening, this concept, but there is nothing in the physical aspect of you, your body, or your life that is showing up that didn't first get created in the emotional, energetic aspect of who you are. You have to have an energy frequency. You have to be in the energy around how you live will create the physical that you're experiencing. And that's physics. So we're not going to get into physics today, but that's physics. It's a law of physics. It has to happen that way. So when you are seeing things in your physical body, it started a long time ago in your emotional body, your energetic body, your thinking body, your thoughts. And so this was really about your relationship to yourself. How does your relationship to yourself affect your health? And so let's look at the mental body and the emotional body and the types of thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself. Let's not even think about necessarily I have a sick daughter, or I have financial issues, or I went through a divorce. Let's think about, what do I make all of that mean about myself? Because it's really that relationship. Because someone can go through a divorce and be like, glad to move on. And somebody else goes through a divorce and has it be, I got betrayed because I wasn't good enough. They left me because I didn't, take care of myself, or whatever would be the thing. So I want you, if you're listening and this is pertinent to you, I want you to start to think about, how do I think about myself? Not only in the taking care of, but what are the thoughts I actually say to myself about myself? Right, Christy?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's so perfectly said, Linda. And I know that is really the center of the work that you do with clients, which I love and I think is so, so important. And, a lot of times I have clients come to me and we start with the nutrient imbalances and the food choices and the digestion and the physical body. But then when we get those things in order, then we have to move on to the deeper layers. And yeah, absolutely. I think it is so, so important to really think about, be really conscious as you go throughout your day of, what are the words that I'm saying to myself about myself, and what am I making this mean about myself? And when you become conscious of those thoughts, it's like a whole new world opens up in terms of the work that needs to be done, because so often we even when we have health problems, right? We feel shame about it. We feel like, oh, this is my fault. I'm going to be mired in shame and blame about this, or if we go through a divorce, what are we making that mean? Does that mean that I'm not worthy of love? Does that
Right.
mean that I did something wrong to create this situation that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to? Like what are you making it mean when you're late to pick up your kid from school? Right? Are you beating yourself up about it? Are you making it mean something about you as a mom, as a human being? So when you can start paying attention to those thoughts, that is a really, really powerful tool for bringing the nervous system back into a place of balance and regulation. And when Linda and I talk about self love and self care, this is really what we mean. Again, it's not a selfish, shallow, ignore everyone else in the world and it's all about me, right? It's really about paying attention to that internal dialogue, to the relationship that you have with yourself. Are you loving and caring for and supporting this human just like you would your child, just like you would your beloved partner or spouse or pet? Right? Think of the most beloved person in your life at this moment who you would do anything in the world to save from pain or harm. How do you think about them? How do you talk to them? How do you treat them? And then
Yeah.
taking that same attitude, that same love, that same generosity and forgiveness and giving the benefit of the doubt, turn that on yourself and express that towards yourself as well in the same way that you would your child who is ill or your partner.
Yeah. We think of ourselves as just this one, like, here I am, a human body, but we're actually trillions of cells. We are a community of cells. So there's, cells, I don't even know how many trillions of cells that are making up what looks like one individual body, right? Those cells are always getting information from you, from your brain. They're getting information about how to do their job. So you've got eye cells and you've got, muscle cells and you've got heart cells and all the things. Those cells are getting information from your brain and they're listening to you. So even something, I used to do this all the time, self-deprecating humor, something that sounds pretty innocuous, but your body and your spirit does not have a sense of humor. It listens very literally. So if you kind of mock yourself, just look and see, is this something that you do during your day? Like, figures, I'm the one who always forgets everything. If somebody's going to mess it up, it'll be me. That kind of, it sounds like a little joke, but what you're telling yourself each time, I'm the loser. I'm the one who can't do it. I'm the one who always messes up. And thoughts like that. So they may, what I just did was kind of like joking, but I know that, if you were honest with me, like, girlfriend, we're looking at each other right now. Even though I can't see any of you, you have thoughts in your head all the time. What's wrong with me? Why do my clothes look like this? Why can't I get my house in order? Whatever is the thing. Why can't I stay on top of this? Why does everybody else look they have it handled and I don't? Why am I the one that can never, whatever, fill in your blank? And those things are because of rules that you've set up, like Christy was saying before, what you make it mean. So you have a rule about yourself. If I'm not a size 8, there's something wrong with me. Our culture tells us, people around us, whatever the messaging is. But if you're feeling that way, if you walk past the store window and go, oh my God, I can't even look at myself. How many of you can take a compliment? Somebody says, like, Christy, I got to hand it to you. When I said, look at you with your hat on, you're rocking that hat. You said, oh, thank you. Like, most people, most women would go, oh my God, are you kidding? I have this hat on because my hair looks terrible today. or whatever they would say to push it out, to block the compliment. I used to do that too. Self-deprecating humor, blocking the compliment. It seems like simple little things, but it's very telling about how you think and feel about yourself. And it's very telling about the kinds of thoughts that are going to your cells all the time.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. We are communicating with every cell in our body, with every thought that we have. And this is why, when I'm working with clients, for example, in my program to reverse autoimmune disease, one of the very first things we talk about is shifting how we look at ourselves and how we talk to ourselves and how we think about our body. Because so many times when we're struggling with chronic health problems, we are so unhappy with our own bodies, and we are at war with our own bodies. I mean, we talk about fighting cancer, right? Fighting
Yes.
autoimmune disease. I'm going to beat this.
Warrior.
Right, right. I'm at war with my own body. And that is sending a message, a very powerful message to every cell in your body. So I always encourage people to shift that and to practice, have a journaling practice or a morning gratitude practice or some sort of ritual where every single day you say, thank you, thank you, thank you to this beautiful, amazing, perfectly designed human body that I've been gifted. Tell her that you love her. Tell her that you appreciate her. Tell her how amazing she is, and understand that she is not broken, right? Autoimmune disease is an adaptation. She is adapting, doing her very best to adapt to a toxic world around her, to all of the toxic chemicals, all of the food like substances, all of the toxic thoughts and stressors and traumas. And she is attempting to adapt to continue to serve and support you in the very difficult, very challenging circumstances that we're asking her to live in. So instead of beating her up and saying, oh my gosh, I'm a failure, I'm broken, I don't know what's wrong with me, thank her for being such an amazing partner. Thank her for serving and supporting you so well. And then start doing the work to love and care for and support her in the ways that she is asking you for, in the ways that she needs, so that she can be her most healthy and most vibrant self. So I think it's really helpful to maybe even have a little bit of separation, be able to kind of step outside of yourself and observe objectively, just like you would your own child. If something was wrong, if your child was sick or hurting, you wouldn't be saying to her, what's wrong with you? Why are you broken? Like, I don't even want to look at you in the mirror because all I see is what's wrong with you, right? You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't think that about your child.
Right.
So step out of your body, look at yourself with some neutral, or maybe not even neutral, maybe just loving eyes, right? We start sometimes with being neutral and objective observers, but even better would be being a loving observer, a loving,
Yeah.
caring parent or partner to this human, right? And instead of criticizing what you see in the mirror, instead of beating her up, instead of having this belief that you are broken, that there's something wrong with you, understand that you are amazing. You are beautiful and perfectly designed in every way. And the only reason you are having these symptoms, these struggles, is because of experiences that you have had that you didn't know how to process, that you didn't know how to handle at the time, that allowed your nervous system to become dysregulated, that allowed your body to become out of balance. And when you start learning how to love and care for and support your body properly and bring the nervous system back into balance, to go back and heal those beliefs that we adopted very, very early in life, sometimes even from the womb, or that we inherited through our DNA from our ancestors who went through hard things in their lives. When we learn how to heal from those things and care for our human in the way that she is asking for, I believe that anything is possible. in terms of our physical health and wellness.
Absolutely. I have a client with rheumatoid arthritis. And last fall, she went back to the doctor. And it's not like we're doing work on rheumatoid arthritis. We're doing the work on the clearing of the beliefs. My program is called Return to You, which means return to the true, authentic you that you were born to be, rather than the one who's coping and surviving and struggling and not experiencing best health, best relationships, all of that. But she went to the doctor during our work together, and her symptoms had completely nosedived from what she was experiencing. I had a client with Parkinson's a few years ago, and she went to her doctor. I live in New Jersey, so her doctor's in New York. She went to her doctor in New York, who was like, I did not expect you to come in and have, the level of blood work, what you've sustained and how you haven't declined given since the last time I saw you. So again, the physical body will show you what work you're doing in the emotional and energetic field. And I think that's a big missing. Well, not I think, it is a big missing. If you're going to separate the person out and just work on the physical body with the doctor, you're pretty much going to get a prescription to manage symptoms, and it's only the physical body. If you only do work on the spirituality, but you're not working on, the physical body, or you're not working on the energy and the belief system, but trying to have deeper spirituality, that doesn't work either. It really is, we are all of that together. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, Christy, but if you do, that's great. You could do that. But I'm just going to wrap up with a reminder that for Valentine's Day, free program, Be Your Own Best Valentine. Join that challenge. We'll be announcing that and sharing that. And in the group, Be Your Own Best Valentine is the name of the group. And I think if you search for that on Facebook, you see our pictures. So you're in that group, right? The banner says that. Yeah. So definitely look for that. The work that I do is Return to You. I do a lot of things with clients. I do some one-on-one work. I do lots of things. The foundational program that I think makes the biggest difference is called Return to You. That's enrolling right now. If you want to reach out to me about that, you can drop wherever you're listening, and I'll make sure I connect with you. Is there anything, Christy, that you wanted to share before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that is the perfect way to wrap it up. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate what you were saying at the end there, that it is body, mind, spirit. It is the energetic. It is the spiritual. It is the physical. All of them. We have to address all of the layers. So if you're someone who thinks, oh, I've tried functional medicine and it didn't work for me, or, oh, I've tried energy work and it didn't work for me, or I've tried changing my diet and that didn't work for me, we have to meet all of those layers. We have to address them all. I just sent out an email last week about telling a little funny little story about if you sit on if you drop a box of tacks and you sit on 3 of them, right? You take one out, you're not going to feel a whole lot of relief, right? You're still going to feel like you have a tack in your bum, right? If you take out 2 of them, you're still going to be in pain. If you take out all 3 of them, then you feel the relief, right? And so it's kind of the same idea that we have to address all of these layers. And if you're missing one, you're not going to get the relief, and you're not going to achieve the vibrant life experience that you want to have. So, thank you all for joining us for these little chats. And
Linda. Christy, I want to say one more thing. You made me think of it when you said it. You have to, and it goes back to the title of this conversation, you have to feel that you are worthy enough. If your relationship with yourself is, I'm not important enough, you won't do what it takes. And that right there is telling. That says where your relationship is with yourself. If I'm not important enough to go and do what it takes, well, then I've got this outcome, right? So right there is, I think, a place to look and see what comes up for you when you hear that. Are you like, yes, my life is worth it. My body is worth it. Who I want to be in my relationships is worth me getting all 3 tacks out of my butt. All three, not just one, not just I'll limp through, not just I'll
We're
try
all
to like, I'll
12
try
and,
to,
you know.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought of when you were saying it, because there are people who would love to feel better, but they will never think that they are worth what it would take to invest in energy, time, money to do it.
Yep.
So where are you at? Because that's the place you want to start in terms of, do you even think that you're worth it? So that's
Yeah,
all.
absolutely. Absolutely. So if Linda can help, reach out to her. If I can help, reach out to me. I have a program for overcoming autoimmune disease, which is sort of my foundational program where I start a lot of people, but we can have a conversation. And if that's not the right fit for you, I also do one-on-one coaching. I have some other options as well. And then we just keep peeling back the layers and go from there to help you address all of these different layers to get to the health, the energy, the vitality, the vibrant life experience that you want to have. So reach out to Linda or I, either one, if we can help. We would love to be of service and support you in achieving your goals.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll see you next Friday. If you have a topic that you'd like us to talk about, because we're always like, what do you want to talk about? So we'd love to do something that you want. Send that in and we'll go back and find these comments and make sure we respond.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay?
everybody. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend.